So this metaphor just came to me, and it felt helpful to talk about, I guess, in some way to share this. So I was just thinking about how I feel like I've experienced people using certain language. I guess there's just a certain way you could view the lens of experience. If you're going around interacting with people, or you find yourself in a new environment, whatever the case may be, as you move through life and you find yourself inevitably in different places with different people, you know, at least for me, it's like inevitably every interaction I have with someone illuminates things. That experience of brushing up to other people illuminates things within yourself. And there are times where you meet people that they feel triggering in some way to the stories you tell inside of yourself. So they either kind of feel like a perpetuation of that story. And every time it's a chance to, like, that story is like, or there's like a spotlight in a way. Suddenly shining on that aspect. And some people don't even realize that the way other people feel uncomfortable to them, it's like telling them everything about what's going on inside of them. It's always just it's like if somebody else is what they are at this moment in time in their journey from whatever they've learned, and it's causing uncomfortable feelings in you, those are for you to address, because it's like, that person gets to be what they are. So really the only choice left is to just look at yourself, facing that truth, where it's like, other people feel those uncomfortable feelings, and I don't know, this almost like they never get to that point where it's like, this is an area where I feel emotion, I find out what it's telling me, I take accountability, I make the next choice for how I want that to, like, I realize, it's like, I'm saying, you realize, like, this is a story happening inside of me, to where I get to choose to write it differently, if that's what inevitably is more empowering to me and my life. And so yeah, I'm just saying, the like visual that came to me, like the metaphor, was just feeling like I love the I love the visual of us all being like elements on the periodic table. You know, just thinking of ourselves in terms of like a kind of a scientific lens, where that's one of the things, that's one of the interesting stories that can happen in people where they feel like I don't know, the story they're experiencing is it's taken to a person, it's taken personally. What I really want to get at here is like that way of viewing things in a punitive way. Somebody feels like they're being punished for, you know, thinking their discomfort is like a punishment, or thinking that like life operates in a punish reward way. You know, that isn't even, when that's not it. Really, it's like the universe is just operating in cause and effect, you know, not in a personal way, just in a law, like scientific law kind of way, right? You know, it's nothing personal that gravity it's like just a scientific fact doing its thing. It's similar. It's like it's almost like you could see it as like, because of where this person is at in their life, it's like they're this element on the periodic table. And because of where this person is in their life, it's like they're this element on the periodic table. And then when they brush up to each other, the same way any other molecules have, like, you know, there's scientific exchange in nature, that this like these responses and reactions and causes and effects happen in order to keep things moving and growing in ways that we don't even like have to think about. You know, that's just the way the universe operates. It's that scientific, it's nature. So anyway, yeah, so I was just thinking about like there's just so many helpful ways to kind of God, I was gonna say like rise above a situation, but in the way that I mean, like, you know, there are times where it's just it feels better, it's more efficient, maybe it's a little more cognitively or emotionally intelligent, you know. These are the like, I don't know, but it's that thing where it's like whatever you're doing, wherever you are in that interacting with other people in the world, you know, you are that element feeling the effects of brushing up, you know, in that way of viewing where you're kind of the bird's eye view and you kind of look at a situation from above. you don't bypass the feeling of the experiences and the exchanges, you know. We feel those pings and those like triggers and those responses as we experience that diversity of experience in life, contrast. But working in tandem, you know, it's like that plus the perspectives that help you recognize we're all a bunch of elements kind of floating around here together. We don't have to take it so personally that, you know, somebody might be a different element than us. You know, you can be empowered as the element you are. And I was thinking too, it almost feels like you don't stay the same element. It's like, you know, as you learn and grow, it is like we evolve into different elements. In a way. Sometimes it feels like, you know, an element that used to affect you when you brushed up to it. It's like, well, dang, I must have changed because now when I brush up to that element, like that same reaction doesn't happen, that same chemical reaction. Yeah. And you know, maybe somebody's gonna just stay as hydrogen their whole life, and like, all right, who are you to know why, you know? Maybe that's all their soul specifically came here to be in this lifetime, but some of us came here to move through some different elements and really see some stuff, feel some stuff, experience some stuff in doing so. Yeah, all our souls, we're all at different places in our you know, it's just like you came here to do something, to be you. That's fine. You stay in that lane. And yeah. I guess that's the end of that. I don't even know if that was like super clean metaphor, but I think I got the point across. So the visuals that came to me. Yeah, I guess I'll just stop this now.